She knows there's been a lot of attention directed to her in this case. She knows she's on a, a razor's edge for her parole. Why can't she maintain her parole?
Well, this is basically just a petition to revoke. This is not a finding that she's violated her probation. They're just mere allegations at the moment. And look, these are, in my opinion, and I've been practicing 22 years, these are fairly minor allegations. There are no Term 1 violations, which would be new crimes. But they are, technical violations, and if proven, it would be a violation of her probation. I think my concern at this point is I just want her treated the same way anyone else is going to be treated, and I could assure you these types of violations don't generally result in a revocation of probation. So
she'll be back on probation.
My expectation is that when she gets here to Arizona, and she hasn't arrived in Arizona yet, I will first off assess the evidence that supports these allegations and determine whether or not that the state can even prove these things. If they can, then we'll handle it like any other probation violation matter. And I expect that she will be reinstated to probation, and shortly after that, she'll be on her way back home.
Why won't she tell where she gave this baby, whom she gave it to, if indeed she gave the baby away? It's sort of confusing. And then when you hear the horrible, well, more than confusing, frankly, but when you hear these horrible manipulative stories that she tells her, I guess it's ex-boy, the dad, it's hard to be sympathetic. But why won't she give where she sent this baby, if she did indeed?
Well, I think it's a bit unfair to say, why won't she say this or that? She did say that. She gave a full interview to police way back when she was apprehended. She told them everything she knew at the time, and she does know, and that's all the information she had. After that, she was arrested, taken into custody, so she wasn't in a position to get any more information.
Pat, you have something to ask?
Well, I'm just frustrated by the conversation. I understand what a defense attorney has to do, but she is playing games, and she knows if that child was adopted, exactly what kind of information she could give to the authorities so they could track down those people. It is a cat and mouse game. And let me just say, I'd like to put bamboo shoots down her fingernails. Unfortunately, we can't do this in our society. But you want to know something? I'm a big believer in circumstantial cases. The problem is this isn't a strong enough circumstantial case. There really isn't much, I believe, that the authorities can do, and it just frustrates the heck out of me.
And I think that's why Mark and Troy can feel fairly confident in their defense. Now, I thank you, Mark. I appreciate you stopping by. I've also got Steve Moore here. Steve, are you out there? Do you have any thoughts about this?
Yeah, I think that, yeah, these things are a little bit ticky-tack, but she is going to be treated just like anybody else who violates these probations codicils, who is hiding the location of a baby or a baby's body.
And Steve, you have the same sort of spidey sense problem that we all do, at least Spirit and I do out here, listening to the manipulation and the violence, right, and the coldness and the cunning, and then mishandling a baby and then going on about her life. I mean, it's a profile that's not very becoming.
No, and this isn't mishandling so much. This is intentional giving away or killing of a child. That's what we're dealing with. And frankly, Arizona hasn't given up on this. The reason you asked earlier, why didn't they charge murder? Because if they charged it then and lost it, you can't try her with it again. They're still holding the murder trial in their pocket. And this, it is possibly a little bit ticky-tack what they're getting her on. But you know what? It's true. I mean, they're not going to have trouble proving these things. They bring her back, and now you've got a lever against her to get the real information on the baby's whereabouts.
If the baby is still alive, I'm going to bring you, in order to bring him home, if you know a child that looks like this, I'm going to give you an age progression of the child. If you have information, I want you to call the number on the screen. And Steve, while we're watching that, again, what does your spidey sense tell you? How likely is this child to be alive, and how likely to be found?
Again, I'm giving you spidey sense. I'm not giving you anything I can prove. But the fact that she went into such detail to give painful painful descriptions of what happened makes me actually believe that she didn't kill the child, because killing the child and letting the body be out there to be found would be much more painful than these things. You know what they say, a barking dog doesn't bite. I think she did give the child away, and I think the baby's alive, and I think there's a chance Gabriel could be reunited with his dad.
Wow.
There we have it, Dr. Drew. The baby is still alive, and
Well,
the mom
get her to
didn't
talk. Get her to talk.